As video games have become more realistic and intense, people are concerned that kids might be influenced by the violence they see and play in these games. Some believe that violent video games can lead to aggression and negative behavior, while others argue that these games are just entertainment and don't cause harm. This video will look at both sides of the argument and explore the effects of violent video games on kids. Most of the kids nowadays can adapt things easily when it comes to good or bad behavior. That's why everyone should be careful on what their kids' behavior or doing. One of the examples of this is the things that the kids can adopt while using games. Parents and guardians should give attention because it will reflect on the kids even though it is good or bad. Video games are a very popular thing that can give kids entertainment, but most of it are violent like fighting, shooting, or other aggressive actions. But we all know video games is still a part of the kids' journey. But overexposure to it is also bad for them even though kids have someone who guides them. Still, they can easily adapt what they see. While playing these games, kids might feel angry for a short time. There's a little evidence to show that it leads to real cruelty or violence. While playing these games, kids might feel angry for a short time. There's a little evidence to show that it leads to real cruelty or violence. Most of the children who play violent games do not act aggressively and vice versa. It really depends on the surrounding of the kids because their surroundings really matter on how they are being handled. The type of video games children play can have an impact. Parents play an important role in shaping how kids behave. Parents can help by setting rules about how much time children should spend playing video games and making sure the games are appropriate for their age. It is also important for parents to talk to their children about the violence they might see in the games. And they also explain that it is not real. Just always be sure that you can explain, guide the kids properly to what they are doing. It can cause a lot of help and they learn how to manage or adapt what they are seeing. Parents can also encourage their kids to balance video game time with other activities like playing sports, reading, or spending time with friends. This can help kids develop a well-rounded lifestyle and reduce the impact that the violent video games may have. Open conversations about the games children play can also ensure they understand the difference between wrong and right. On the other hand, any children can play violent video games without letting it affect how they act in real life. Kids often understand that video games are not real and that what happens in the games doesn't reflect how they should behave outside of it. For example, even if a child plays a game like Call of Duty, they may know that it's all just for fun. And it doesn't mean they should hurt people in real life. Children who grow up in abusive or neglectful households may be more likely to display aggression, irrespective of media they consume. Similarly, peer pressure, bullying, and social isolation can also contribute to aggressive tendencies in children. And also, cruel behavior of kids not only because of the violent games. There's a lot of factors like influence by environmental, social factors, and etc. The effect of violent video games on children depends on many factors, like the child's personality, their family environment, and how they play the games. Rather, the blaming video games for aggression it is important to consider a variety of influences on a child's behavior. Another important factor is the environment in which children play video games. Children from different cultures or communities may react to the violent games in different ways. In some cultures, video games are part of social activity, where the kids play together in groups, which might help reduce any negative effects. In other cases, where kids play alone, the impact of violent games might be stronger, especially if the child already has other issues like stress or family problems. Violent video games cause children to become more aggressive, like what I said before. Evidence shows that video games cause minor aggressions such as hitting, teasing, and name calling. This aggression also relates to other antisocial behaviors. When playing violent video games, children can unconsciously become more attentive towards others unconsciously, causing them to become tense and worry about their surroundings. They practice thinking that it is acceptable to respond aggressively to provocation. These reactions worsen every time that they play the games. For example, I witnessed a kid become more hostile in his demeanor after playing violent video games for just a few weeks. Due to these changes in the way he thought and behaved, he started hanging out with the wrong crowd, dropped out of school, and even tried to fight me because I was standing too close to him. There were no other negative influences in his life at the time. Therefore, I blamed the violent video games he was playing. This is another example of why we need to have a parent password and other safety features that prevent children from playing these types of games.